All right. Are we live? I think we're live.
Yes, we are live.
Yes, we're live. Hello. Good morning. Welcome to the second day of the DP Arts Exhibition, where today we will dedicate our time to have a artist talk and director's talk.
Yes, Regala. Audience, I will promise you, this artist talk will be fun. So for today's artist talk, we will be hosting along with a couple of moderators. As there are numerous artists taking the visual arts program, we are also going to separate the artists into two groups. There, they will present their centerpieces and participate in discussions with our moderators, where they got to express their ideas to their heart's content. Regala, doesn't it sound exciting?
Definitely. After the tour and reading the catalog yesterday, I'm super intrigued on all the inspiration behind these wonderful artworks. Also, before everyone forgets, after the artist talk, there will be a movie screening for all the films, 5 films from the DP film students. And after that, there will be only one session, for director's talk, hosted by me and led mostly by Parip. I'll be there to kind of help out. And in this section, we'll be interviewing the directors regarding their work, starting with the inspiration and the purpose of the work, and many more. If you, audience, so happen to have any questions regarding the artists, the artwork, or the films you see later, there will be a public Q&A session at the end of each artist talk and director's talk. So it would be around 5 to 10 minutes, and we will answer all your questions. Hopefully, we'll try our best to answer all your questions. Me, Maizan, and Paarif will be the ones that will be choosing the questions from the comment box. So comment below during those times. Comment your questions down below during those times.
Yes, we encourage you. Okay, now that the time is already 8:36, I will give you a background to our moderators. So the first moderator for this exhibition is Pak Arif Firmansyah. He is known to be a literature teacher working in the Sekolah Cikal, while our second moderator is a guest speaker named Radinal Indra. He is a well-known independent artist who recently had his solo exhibition in Rubana Underground Hub. With great pleasure, we thank you for giving us the opportunity for Pak Indra to participate in this discussion. Pak Indra will be here to assist us in giving his professional feedback to our students, artists. Now that I've given you the background, please welcome Pak Arif and Pak Indra.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to the stream.
How
is
are you
everyone
guys?
feeling today?
Just right now, I'm doing 20 kilometers just to getting started this show.
I see.
Definitely.
I'm doing great. It's actually at the back of a kitchen in a cafe because there was a power cut in my house.
Bad timing for that.
Super excited to be here.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, now that all of you are here, we are going to introduce the first batch of artists. In this first group, the artists are Naja Chalita Gaswara, Rafael Benaya, Sifa Afan, and Faiza Hafna Alindi.
So, Ida and Maizan, do you do the exhibition too? Do you make the arts too for this show?
No,
we're not.
only hosts.
I'm really sorry.
You guys still students, but you guys still
We
students.
help out with the whole thing.
Yes,
with
we
the
are still
exhibition.
students.
Yes.
I thought you guys were college students. But
Oh no!
Oh, do I look
Are you
that
saying
old?
we look old?
you look more wise.
I'm sure the only one who looked like a high school student here is me. Yeah?
Oh
Just
wow!
4 people.
Really? Yes. The guy
I would do
here.
that. Yes,
So-
yes.
So I got the catalog here. So we'll sambil lihat karya-karya kalian yang dari kemarin. Silakan.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So I think we can bring
Invite
up.
the artist now.
Yeah. Okay. Now
Yes, I suppose we could start with Naja, Benaya, and then Sifa Afan, and also Fayez. All right. They're
Hello.
here.
Welcome to the stream, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Wow.
Hi.
I hope you're all doing great. Look at you. You look like great artist already. I'm so proud. All right. So I'm sure everybody has seen and enjoyed and appreciated your arts, folks. So now is the time where we ask questions to get to know the person behind the artwork, so to speak, and also to talk about the specifics of the techniques and inspiration and so on. So I'm gonna start with Naja,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna highlight your work titled "Loop." It's such an interesting, yeah, interesting artwork there. Can we
Thank
see
you.
her artwork projected somehow? Loop,
Oh wow.
loop. Oh yeah, yeah, that's the one. The one with
Yeah,
the
the one
incense
in the
sticks.
middle. Yes.
Yes. All right. So talking about the theme of your exhibition, which is an abstract idea. So
Mhm.
tell us the story behind this artwork, Loop 2021. Go ahead.
So loop is essentially about the psychological aspects of why people stay and manage to like keep up with their toxic relationships. And at first, I really wanted to discuss about that because I was just really interested in why they were able to like manage and keep up in like such a destructive environment and why they just stay because it didn't make sense to me at that time because it was really obvious that both parties were hurting. So I just like why did they stay with each other? And so I researched about like the psychological aspects behind it, and turns out the two biggest reasons of why they usually stay is because they grew up in a dysfunctional childhood where it was normal to be treated that way, and the other one is variable enforcement where it's like where like that behavior is sort of like addicting in a way, and
Mhm.
so I expressed that through the use of incense sticks and resin, where the incense sticks describe the dysfunctional childhood, like a certain small trauma that you experience as a child may follow you as an adult and become that one of like the reasons of why you're so attracted to toxic relationships. And the pills
Mm.
essentially describe the addictive components of a toxic relationship.
Interesting. Now, it's very psychological,
Mm-mm.
right? Psychological
Yeah.
impetus to it.
Hello,
The next,
hello,
Pak
Naja.
Indra, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to ask, yeah,
Hmm.
why you use the incense sticks to represent the toxic? Mm.
Because incense sticks burn from the top to
Hello,
the bottom. Like yeah, incense sticks burn from the top to the bottom. Like
hello, Naja.
you
Yeah, yeah. Why
it just
why
you just
you
light
use
it for a
the
while.
incense sticks, man? I think it's really interesting. You showing the sequence, the incense sticks still burn, and then
Yeah.
mm,
So yeah, I feel like incense sticks really is a good representation of like a dysfunctional childhood because as I described
mm,
earlier and
mm,
before
mm,
that
mm,
like what you experience as a child, even though
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
may be
yeah.
like the
I think
smallest
your
trauma,
decision
it could burn from that.
to show the sequence of the incense sticks burning is really interesting. Yeah.
Thank you.
And where is the resin part on your work? Is it on the
Oh, the
bottom?
resin part, yeah, yeah,
The resin part?
it's the coaster, yeah. It's the one making the stick stand up. So I molded like this resin cast out of like a plate,
Hello.
and inside the resin cast is inside the coaster is essentially a resin pill embedded inside it. It's like these resin shaped pills.
Oh, it's very intriguing. I'm curious about whether you have the material first, like you have this resin and incense, and then you think, okay, I'm gonna talk about this topic, toxic relationship, or do you have the idea first? Okay, this idea, toxic relationship.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What
I think
media should I use?
I think this is really good. Yeah, if your
Mhm.
choice to show the sequence of something's happening over time through photography, I think that's really a good decision, good artistic decision. You should.
Thank you.
All right. There will be some more questions, but the questions can be answered by everybody. So I think thank you, Naja, for
Yeah,
No
talking and
problem.
sharing about your
yeah,
artworks.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
intriguing. So I suppose we can proceed with the next artist, Pak Indra.
Yeah.
So our next artist is Benaya. Can we have Benaya and his artwork displayed here? Thank you. All right, and I'm gonna focus on his artwork titled Pisir. That's Pisir. A couple of things that are intriguing here, at least to me personally. One is the title. I am not familiar with that word. Could be Indonesian, so maybe Rafael could explain about this. And also about the technique, yeah, how it combines typography and iconography, I suppose. So go ahead, Benaya. What is the story behind this? What's the meaning of the title, and how did you go about with this theme and with these materials? Go ahead.
Uh, okay, so for me, this artwork has a very, not say distinct, but a very focused meaning. What it's meant to represent was sort of the victims of war or any conflicts in general here in Indonesia. And probably, um, I'm not bold to assume, but I would say this is a representation of what they could say if only they could communicate through us, with us through the afterlife. So I would say that this is more of like, if you kind of think of it, it's more like a message from the dead. Um, but oh yeah, so for the title itself, Pisir
Yeah.
is a what it means is that it just means iron sights, which is the sighting of a gun. Therefore, there is a gun in the center of the image, right? And the reason that I named
Mhm.
it Pisir was because um, well, a lot of conflicts here in Indonesia. They have a lot of wouldn't say large contribution of the conflict is due to guns, but that's just the truth, right? And I sort of wanted to create sort of this ironic appeal towards the artwork. Therefore, I put the gun in, but inside the gun there's flowers. So that itself also has other
Mhm.
subliminal meanings, which we can talk about later.
Mhm. Now, Pak Indra might have questions regarding the specific of the techniques. My second question is this. So I seem to know I noticed that in your exhibition, in your artwork, social issues and political issues are kind of the central idea. So would you consider your work as political? Are these political?
No, I don't consider my works political, because if you're talking about a social function, I believe that all of artworks do have social functions, right? But because at the end of the day, every artist wants an audience to their gallery, right, to their artwork. But for me, my artworks always has been tasked with a purpose, which is to shed light on underexposed issues here in Indonesia. And people could say it's protest art, people could say that it's political art, but for me, um, I the pure function of my artwork is to seek justice, I think.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah.
Pak Indra, go ahead.
So, hello, Rafael. I heard yesterday you say you took your inspiration from FX Harsono, yeah?
That's correct.
Ya kan? In a tone, I think your work is really heavy on the political issue. But I'm really interested on, is that gun you cast from resin?
Yes,
That,
I casted it from resin. This is my first time
so
casting
it's a
from resin.
3D, yeah?
Yes,
It's
it is
3D.
3D.
Can we zoom out to the gun? Can we zoom in to the gun? This is what I think is can be really interesting ya. So you're filling the gun with many different objects ya. Itu apa itu yang di dalam gunnya?
Okay, so what's inside the gun is
Hmm.
like 3 types of dried flowers,
Hmm.
which which I selected myself. Now, the reason that I use flowers instead of, let's say, a picture of a child or whatever, right? Um, it just I think that flowers really represent the idea of hope,
Oh yeah.
and like just to see that inside of a gun, brings like this sort of irony that there might be no peace. That
Do you remember a photo from the 70s yeah, or 60s in America where the protester put the flowers inside the rifle? Yeah.
yes, yeah.
You're doing a good job combining the violence and the hope in one object. In one object. I think you can continue your practice on how combining those two extreme stuff become one object. I think that become that could be your apa ya, your future art language to explore. This part is really good. I think really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you seen directly many works of FX Harsono, Rafael?
Directly, I mean, digitally, yes, but in real life, no.
Yeah. There are some apa, in National Gallery in Indonesia. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can see how, because what makes FX Arsono work so strong, because in the 60s he is the victim of discrimination, so that makes the works even more have a really strong message, yeah, because the artists
Yeah.
live the experience of what they are talking about. Gitu.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
a large part of this exhibition is due to a lot of family members, a lot of friends, friends of families, friends of my parents. They are also a victim of
Yeah.
racial injustice or religious injustice here in Indonesia. So that's sort of
Yeah.
my drive towards the exhibition.
Yeah. Okay, good job, Rafael. I really like the how you combine those two extreme stuff. Yeah.
Maybe one last question from the point of view of language teacher, because again, it's interesting because it combines typography and also, I would say, poetry. So how did you come up with the words in this artwork? Did you write this? Was this an adaptation, or did you write this yourself?
So this is so of course parts of the artwork has broken English, right? It's meant to be like that because I'm supposed to represent Indonesian victims, not fully fluent English speaking victims. But
Yeah.
part of the part of the text here is actually inspired from a poem. I forgot who was the writer of the poem, but it's the one where it's about nuclear, like the creation of the atom bomb, which is "I am become death, destroyer of worlds," right? So this is sort of like the opposite of that. Is "I am history," and after "I am
Oppenheimer.
history,"
It was
yeah,
Oppenheimer.
thank you.
Yeah.
After that, this is sort of the text behind the text within the artwork sort of represents like how the victim feels as if there is no hope for peace in the future, and that they have come through a pointless and unsettling death.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you,
Okay,
Rafael.
thank you, Benaya. Again, so the next question, but for everyone. So I guess we can bring up the next artist, Sifa, and we're
I
gonna
think
highlight her
think
work.
I think every artist we can talk a lot apa ya, kita bisa ngomong lebih banyak gitu loh. Cuman oke, kita kita see through dulu aja nih semuanya ya.
Yeah.
Pengen ngobrol mana ya gitu.
All right. So can we get a zoom in to her work highway
Oh,
to? Okay, this one.
I like this one. I like this one. I really like this one. Yeah. Really brave
Yeah,
color.
me too. Me too. So,
Oh,
music
Siva.
is one important element in your artwork, Sifa. So, how did you quote unquote translate the musical inspiration to these bright colors? Like, were there representational meanings for each color, or yeah, how did you decide which color to use and what pattern to use? Go ahead.
Before painting the piece, I sort of pick out the colors that would, I guess, look best in representing my background story in this artwork. But um, in this particular work, rather than using colors to represent each element, the colors chosen are actually based on the songs that I chose for this piece, which are some sort of like R&B upbeat type of songs. And with that, I visualized the
Looks
song as something.
looks hype.
Sorry?
Yeah. Looks hype.
Yeah. that and with that, I visualized the songs as something cheerful and decided to use vibrant colors
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can I have my take on this? Yeah, Siva.
Mhm.
You know what? This kind of experiments is actually what the art school students do in their second or third year painting class. Yeah.
Oh,
You know.
really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we kinda translate. You know this thing when you hear some apa ya, some beats or some
Oh,
instruments.
jadi kayak synthetism yang kalau nggak salah.
Yeah, you can see colors, shapes, or apa ya, or certain moods kayak gitu-gitu. And I think most artists have that kind of apa ya, have that kind of process and in their head ya kayak gitu. It's like apa ya? It's actually a malfunction in the brain, but it transforms to be a creative process for the artist ya. Kayak gitu. So I'm really interested in this kind of one because from the audio, it transforms to a very formal. Formal is shapes, colors, lines, and it's all about moods. And maybe if you're one of your friends listen to that song and then try to interpret another shape, it will become different.
Oh, okay, I see.
I think that's the part where you apa ya, your characters really translate from the music you hear and then the form and lines you create in here. Okay. You know what? I have an experiment for you. Let's try listen to the music you don't really want to hear. Yeah, maybe dangdut or music that's really bad on your ear, and let's see how it comes. That could be a really good experiment for you in the future. Yeah.
I mean, I will try, I guess.
You know what? You know what? You know what? After I open my TikTok apps, yeah, suddenly the song starts really repeating itself in my head. You can make an artwork about those apa ya, flashy
No,
TikTok songs.
that's a good idea. Yeah.
That could be a really good experiment for you in the future.
Okay. Maybe I'll try it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's try listen to the music that you don't really like. That would be really good. Let's see how your emotion clash with the form and the music you don't actually really like.
Yeah,
Thank you.
maybe a bit experimental music, like the one where Yoko Ono covers Adele song. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
find one of those on YouTube. All right. Okay. So again, because I noticed that in each and every piece of your exhibition here, it all revolves around music, like almost all. I think it revolves around
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
So, do you think it will be different if you express those musically?
So the other way around.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
right? Because there is
Um,
one of her pieces about nostalgia. I think there are
yeah,
two
just
of her
few of them.
pieces. So,
Actually.
how would those be different if you express them musically
You
instead, not visually?
first the
Okay.
process. Yeah, 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 yeah,
So,
yeah.
I guess I mean in terms of genre, majority of my artworks are inspired by R&B and jazz songs. So I think that um, both
Mm,
genre will be, I guess,
yeah,
like the best
yeah.
choice.
I can see your jazzing on your see your jazzing on your painting. Yeah. I have one. I have one apa ya, visual artist reference for you ya. Yeah, the name is Jackson Pollock. Okay.
Oh, I think I heard him before,
Yeah,
but I never
he
seen him.
really the age of jazz. Yeah. So
Uh,
his work is based on improvisation, and he never do sketches. He never do any plan about his work. So he's just jazzing around with his painting. That could be your apa ya, reference ya, in the future. But
Mhm.
uh, I really want to hear the painting from the song that you really don't like.
Yeah, yeah, that would be
Would be
interesting. Listening to that music you don't want to hear, and you just
yeah.
splatter your paint. Just messing around basically, but you come up
that
with
would be
like great work. I think Pak Indra, I think Jackson Pollock's painting is one of the most expensive paintings in the world at the moment, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah. Because because sometimes he paints while he drunk, and then the souls become more expressed because of the alcohol. But
Hmm.
don't try that.
Okay, guys, yeah, just focus on the jazz part, yeah, not the alcohol part.
yeah.
You, yeah.
Okay.
Look, Tifa and Raphael is really different kind of artist.
Mm,
Raphael
mhm,
look at the social issues and the translate into form, but you look at another source, which is
mhm,
music, and we know there's a lot of different kind of music, and it translates to form too. It's a really different kind of artist.
Yeah.
mhm, mhm.
Good job,
Yes,
good job.
I,
Thank you.
good job.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Paindra. It's very interesting.
yeah.
All right, thank you, Siva. We'll talk more about VA in general. I suppose we could bring up the next one. Okay, Fayez.
Faiz.
Hello, Fayez.
Okay, which one? Which work you choose for this?
We are going to talk about
Oh
84,
yeah,
Faindra.
I'm curious about what is this? Okay,
84.
jelasin.
Okay, so Faisal, go ahead. Tell us about this intriguing piece. What's the story behind this, and how did you create this?
Okay, so 84 tells about my mixed feelings that led to anger, disappointment, sadness towards something um, like unexplained ones. Um, Basically, 84 is like one of my favorite number. Um, I name it 84 because it combines like lucky and unlucky for like both. For the process, um, I think for the creative process, for the certain that helped me actually because of like certain music and looking at another artist from other social media platforms like Tumblr, etc. Um, since I listen to like lo-fi and jazz hop a lot, yeah, from the beat itself, I can like imagine some new ideas coming one by one, just like in case I forgot, I draw them and make comparison for each.
About the symbolism itself. In 84, you mentioned that 84 is about how our country is threatened by a wide variety of catastrophes. You mentioned, there's a list of catastrophe here, literally. So, what's the story behind the symbolism? Why do you choose these objects inside the basin to symbolize the catastrophe? Like, which part of this symbolize catastrophe?
I think it was the props. Like I used preserved flowers, leaves, and like other ornaments I put in there. It's much more um like death, and because of like it actually mm, tells about like anger, disappointment, sadness. So I just think about like, oh, preserved flowers is the best one for representing all of these. So yeah.
Indra, go ahead. What's your take on this?
Sorry?
So those curious about your selection of those plants, yeah.
Mm-mm.
The the water basin itu terus do you I think this work could be interesting if you record your performance putting the leaves. Yeah. Is this photography? So you take the picture?
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah.
I take the leaves from my garden, to be honest.
Oh, okay. You know, there is this apa ya, a really expand branch of art. It's called performance art.
Mm-mm.
I think I can imagine how you put your leaves into the water basin, and that could be the apa ya, kayak performance piece gitu loh. Gitu kan Parit, menurut aku bisa menarik nih kalau misalnya aksi kamu untuk naruh daun-daun itu tuh direkam sebagai karya seni juga gitu loh. Kan ada
Betul,
performance
betul.
begitu.
Betul. Yeah, I agree with Pak Indra. This has potential to
Yes.
be so much more than visual take on an issue. And yeah, there are lots of example artists that are able to combine these approaches. Ada siapa ya, Marina Abramovich, and then siapa lagi ya Pak Indra? Banyak ya. Yang pasti ketika the action itself
Yes.
engages the audience in a dialogue, like, okay, this is
Uh,
catastrophe. Yeah.
because in the first you say you put the leaves inside the water basin. That's where the part interesting is, yeah. The action of in the water basin, and you could try the apa ya, the performance artist path to do to improve this piece gitu. Ya menarik ini menarik.
Yes, I agree. And you also, like, looking at your paintings, for example, there is a, like, because you have such a different style. I think the contrast in style when it comes to your
Yeah.
painting and
Yeah.
your other pieces. Your paintings, I don't know, tend to be like surreal, like almost dreamlike. Is that how you look at it, Faiz? Was that also
What
inspired by like
what
dream,
Faiz
something like?
doing in particular piece, yeah. If you see Raphael's using resin and flowers, and then yang sebelumnya siapa? Yang musik namanya? Sipa ya.
Sifa.
Sifa.
Sipa itu dia she's using acrylic paints and brush. You're using the material from the earth itself to talk about the earth, and I think that's good. Gitu. Begitu.
Right. I think that's about it. But I'm sure there will be more questions after this. So I guess we can I actually have one question, but it should be answered by everybody. Should I ask this now or later with all the 8 students?
Oh, boleh nanti kali ya. Jadi nanti giliran tuh
Semuanya
teman-teman semua.
semuanya aja kali ya. Oh, nanti aja kali ya. Oke. Oh, sekarang aja, sekarang. Oke. So, my last question is this. Yes, true. So my last question for you guys, what was the greatest lesson in the 2 years of studying IBDP BA? And what is your advice for students who are considering taking this subject? So let me repeat that. What was the greatest lesson in the 2 years of studying IBDP BA? And what's your advice for students who are considering taking this subject? Maybe we can start from Naja. Go ahead, Naja.
For me personally, through VA, I was able to just like explore lots of different topics that I wouldn't normally do before, and through that, it kind of forced me to like reflect and be more honest and vulnerable with myself, like making my artworks and allowing my feelings to just like take over. I just really learned to like be honest with myself, and to me, that is like the greatest lesson. But to like my advice would be just like is like although sometimes it will be kind, it seems like very hard and very exhausting. In the end, it's like worth it to me. So yeah.
Okay, it's worth doing, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Benaya, how about you? What's the greatest
Yeah. Um,
lesson of doing 2 years, and what's your advice for?
so I think that you should just create art with whatever your heart desires, like just ask for support from your parents, ask support from your friends, because a lot of my projects aren't, they can't be made by just me individually. I do need help, right? Because of how large scale they are. So don't be afraid to ask for help, and just follow whatever you think is proper for your artwork, right? And also just have fun. Also be very innovative when it comes to your artwork. I guess I don't have a lot to say. So probably that's it.
All right. Go ahead. Siva, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, the greatest lesson, I think, is to trust the process, because there's actually one artwork that I was actually almost gave up for, and then I don't know, but I feel like through like the amount of experiments that I've been through, I don't know. I guess I ended up with this act. I don't know, like but I just trust the process. But I guess for advice, I actually have advice for the year 11 students. If you have any, if you don't feel like enjoying your current theme better, changing it earlier. I mean, like I guess now. I mean, like not later, because I feel like because I actually been there, like I've experienced it before.
Wah, kata-kata senior nih. Ya.
I think that's it, Pak.
Now, Faiza.
All right. Faiz?
For the greatest lesson, fun, commitment, new insights from the artist exhibition, independent, and as for this pandemic, I know it's really hard, so maximize the use of materials around us. And for my advice, for those of you who are considering taking this subject, make sure you don't consider this as your option. Side subjects underestimate visual arts, but rather like you like it, you're enjoying it, and like you're passionate about it.
Can I give short advice for this young artist, Farid? For Naja, Siva, Rafael, Faiza, langsung aja ya, gue ngobrol ya. So, guys, being an artist, especially right now, is a job. So don't afraid. You will have money. Don't worry about that. But in Indonesia, especially, you have these four main cities, which a lot of artists live in. First is Jakarta, and then Bandung, then Jogja, and then Bali. Those four cities have a really different character for Indonesia. If you want to study art abroad, that's really good too. But the art scene in Indonesia is really vibrant. So if you see in the regional Southeast Asia, Indonesia is really a big tiger in the art scene. It's really a big tiger. If you go to Art State Singapore or Art Philippines, there you will see many Indonesian artists doing show abroad. So for me, doing this for almost 10 years, I've been really enjoying it, and not just about creating a cool things to look at, just to post on your Instagram, but it's really a way to find more about yourself, to understand more about yourself, and through that, people can see inside yourself, and then we can connect to each other. That's what I'm saying for you. It's a job. It's a really promising job, and it's a fulfilling one. So, good job for your next 5 or 10 years.
Yes. Thank you guys for sharing with us today. And again, Godspeed.
Thank
You
you.
know, if one of you want to contact me personally to talk about art, I will be really happy. Yeah. I can give you reference. I can give you insights about the art world. I will be really happy. Just tell me. Yeah. Bye. Ya. Apalagi? Ada lagi nggak?
All right, I think that's the end of session 1. And to audience, if you have any questions, just comment them down below. Just comment them, collect them, and then me and Ichan will pick them out, and hopefully it gets answered in the next session. Okay, moving on. Ichan?
Yes. Okay. Before we're going to move on to the next session, I would like to ask Pak Indra to recap the first session of the artist talk. Pak Indra, if you mind.
Oh yeah. The first 4 artists they really show emphasize of their own characters. So there are one who really like to look inside themselves, talking about relationship, toxic relationship, and it's really psychological one. And then there are who look around, look at the social issues, then try to symbolize it in a really unique materials. Then there are one who just maybe listen to a good stuff like music, and that's really different kind of artist too. And then I think Fayesa is really doing apa ya, another approach to talk about the art. You need the stuffs, you need the art materials that provide by the art itself, and they really explore. It's a really good start to do a further more exploration in the future as an artist. I say begitu. Cukup?
Yes. That seems like an impressive take. Thank you so much, Pak Indra, for the recap. Now we can move on to the next session of Artist Talk. So in this second session, we'd like to invite Rex Leonard, Yasmin Almira Damayanti, Azura Giorinoni, and Rehan Wimbo to the stream. Yes.
Hello, welcome to the stream, guys. How are you
Hi,
guys doing?
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. So we're going to leave you guys. Hope you guys are going to have a good time.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. I see. Okay, it's a couple of centuries at least. And Rex, would you mind finding a better source of lighting?
Okay,
Because
hold
I
on.
can see you, bro. All right.
Is that better? Pak?
All right. So I guess okay, there is a significant improvement, Rex. Significant improvement, 0.6%. All right. It's under dark. Okay. We're gonna start with Rex. So let's wait. What is Bowo? But there's yes in
Oh, Pak Arif kayaknya sedang trouble in connection.
can
Ini Pak Arif udah.
can anyone? Okay,
Udah?
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, a
Yeah,
bit.
okay.
So the first is
Okay,
Rex,
mode Rex.
Yes,
Yeah,
Pak.
mode high 8. Ini untuk yang baru nge soal video format ya. Let me tell you guys. Jadi high 8 itu satu generasi dengan VHS ya. Ada VHS, ada Super 8, ada high 8.
Yes.
Dulu saya pernah kerja di toko video ya. So, Rex, what is the story behind this obsolete video format? Kenapa pakai high 8? And then what is the concept behind this? Basically, tell us anything about this.
Okay,
Mode.
so
Go ahead.
funnily enough, at first I didn't know I was gonna make this artwork. I came up with this artwork like 2 days before I made it. So my friends were Rafa and Bo were making a shoot in Anar's house, and Bo was making Saratoga, and Rafa was making Into the Breach or something. So I decided to like join them and like I should make an artwork with them, you know, see the opportunity to make something. And I didn't know at first. I didn't know what the art was gonna be about, but I get the gist. I got the gist of it, and yeah, I decided to use Rafa's camera. It's not even my camera.
Okay, Leonard, can you tell me which part shows the isolation and isolation? Yeah, you talk about isolation in this video.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So that guy, he will stay in that room for a long time. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, okay. Ya. Gimana Pak Arif?
Aku tertarik dengan ini. Ini isolation, is it just an inspiration for you, or did you, when you create your artwork, also isolate yourself? Gak tau, aku ngerasa kayak banyak artis yang ngelakuin itu gitu. They isolate themselves when they are creating. Is that
Yeah, I don't.
true for you?
I don't do that personally. I don't really have a personal relation or connection to isolation itself, because most of the time I'm like mostly not alone. I'm mostly like talking to my friends a lot. So it's just mostly like an inspiration to like make my artworks. It's not a thing I relate to too much.
So it's kind of you're trying to push yourself to the experience that you
Yeah, because
actually.
some of my friends experience isolation more than I do, and like I find that interesting how sometimes it affects them in a good way or a bad way.
Mm, yeah. So it's like there is a tendency for an artist. Yeah. If he see if he paint about angels or ghosts or what, doesn't mean he or she already seen the angel or the ghost gitu. But he took perspective from it's like a voyeurism. So it's a third person. So the artist gaze really important how she or he look at things, and I think you're doing a similar kind of approach in this video.
Yeah, I agree with you, because when you're saying that you are not isolated yourself, but
Yeah.
you are interested in, knowing how it would feel or how it feels to be
Yeah.
isolated. Yeah, I think that's a good perspective. Yeah, I agree with Paindra. Voyeurism sometimes, like, quote unquote,
Mm.
sick curiosity, but
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a more positive
You want to
way.
know, but you give some distance to your what you're observing kayak gitu. Itu is just one of
Yeah.
common artist habit ya, to gaze at something but not to get in touch with it kayak gitu.
Yeah, something like that.
This I think. Yeah. Begitu. That's,
Okay.
that's it for me.
Ya, dan aku juga notice dia juga bicara tentang berbagai jenis isolation. Okay, Rex, good job. We'll talk more about your work at the end of the session. So I guess we can bring up the next artist. This time it's Yasmin.
Oh,
Go
ini I
ahead.
remember one. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello Yasmin. Silakan.
Hello, Yasmin. Yeah, the one that we're gonna talk about, Pak Indra, is called Tempuh Diiringi Dansa. Yeah, this one. I I really like this. I personally really like this. So, Yasmin, please tell us the story behind this artwork, Tempuh Diiringi Dansa. Go ahead.
So I this artwork is actually the my very last piece, and yang paling buru-buru ngerjain it, because I really want to portray the connection between culture and politics, because it is
Hello,
very
Yasmin.
yeah, it is very um, a strong topic and a strong stand in Indonesia, as both um, have a very strong presence in culture and also um, politics. And I think, and I really want to have that connection portrayed. And I did some research, and it appears that there are some dances that has that portrays the connection um, of politics and also culture. It's from East Java, called Tarigan Group, which it was curated to connect the portrayal of the culture of Indonesia and also the politics stance in Indonesia. And Tempuh Diiringi Dansa is just the narration of those journey from this prehistorical era to the modern era of Indonesia.
Oke, gimana Arif duluan?
Pak Indra, go ahead. What's your take on this?
I'm curious your
Oh,
accent.
me
You
or you, Pak Indra?
you invert the photo, right? You invert
Yeah.
the photo, and then you it's like put a yellow filter on those photos. What is that action got to do with the topic you're bringing? So I can see I can imagine you took this photo maybe black and white, and then you invert it again, so it become looks like a pop art, yeah, like pop art, yeah. So what do you think about that artistic action?
So for this the decision on color making, I actually just wing it, and then I realized that it looks like a statue where most culture uses a gold portrayal in
Oh,
the statue, and then I really want to duplicate those um, like shimmers and shines in a gold, and I decided to use yellow and so that white negative spots as a portrayal of those statue gold statues.
yeah, yeah. I know. Does Tempo is the name of the dance or what? Tempo?
No, the name of the dance is Gandruk from East Java.
Okay, so what's that Tempo mean in your title?
Tempo means just like I said, the journey itself from the prehistorical era as
Oh, oh
Indo.
menempuh.
Yeah, menempuh, diiringi dansa. Dansa is just like a way for us to portray like the happiness, the like even though if
Yeah, yeah.
it is hard for us to get through that, there's are still positive inside them.
I can see now. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you have a really soft taste ya on colors ya, Yasmin.
Yeah.
So it looks friendly and yet kayak ada shimmeringnya gitu loh, gara-gara kamu pakai warna kuning gitu.
Yeah, that's what I'm aiming.
Yeah. Kebayang. I can see it now. What you mean? Thank you, Yasmin. Really good.
You're welcome.
Dan ada ini ya, I see similarity in your previous work. Itu yang unanimity, itu komposisinya kayak
Yeah.
mirip-mirip gitu. Itu sengaja nggak? Kayak sama gitu cara dia compose.
Well, I didn't realize it until you actually mentioned it. But I think it's just the portrayal of people standing by each other and also being in a very close frame has really depict the unity and also the diversity itself, and it focus on that subject itself.
Ya, mungkin ini juga subconscious ya, karena ketika when you have people standing around within short, close proximity, short distance,
Yeah.
you can use that to convey harmony or disharmony. Karena dulu ada pepatah ya, kalau di bahasa Sunda itu piring jangan ditaruh deket-deket, nanti pakai trok. Apa ya pakai trok? When you put plates together, nanti bisa pecah gitu. So I think that's that's just my take on it, because jadi ada unsur harmoninya, juga ada unsur disharmoninya gitu. Ketika you have this people within close proximity, that's what gonna happen. So I think a good job with that.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, I think that's about all. Yasmin, again, thank you very much. There will be another question after this. I think we can bring the next artist, Bowo, I suppose. Is it Bowo? Wait. Oh, Azura. Yeah, Ajui. Hello, Ajui.
Oh, hello, Azura.
Hi, Pak.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I hope you're doing great.
I'm doing great.
Yes.
Which work you choose to talk about?
All right. So today we're gonna focus on your piece of perfect imperfection, I suppose, Pak Indra. So can we have a look at that?
Oh yeah, boleh boleh.
Oh, thank you. No, perfect imperfections. All right.
Hmm.
Okay, go ahead, Ajay. Tell us about the
So,
story behind this.
you know, I personally believe that beauty is an understanding of what you have and is forgiving yourself of what you don't have and just simply appreciating all of it. My personal perception on gratitude is being able to appreciate all the things around you, but most importantly, also appreciating yourself. So, perfect imperfection implies a reminder on the importance of being self dependent, and its purpose is to symbolize one's understanding of its imperfection, how to grow with it together. So, that's what the overall artwork is about.
All right.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah, yeah. Tell me
all
more
right.
about
It's very
how you.
intriguing. I like how you cluster the color green and then red and then blue there. So maybe Pa Indra have what's your take on this? Maybe from technical
I want to
perspective
know how
or
you
artistic choices. Go ahead, Pa Indra.
how you get the gestures, yeah. To do you have someone pose in front of you and then paint directly? Nah.
No, I don't. I didn't have anyone to post in front of me, so
Very fun.
it just came out of my brain.
Oh, so you kind of remember what the body looks like and feels like, ya gitu.
Yes, so I used to take live drawing classes. So I think that helped me a lot in like
You know,
remembering.
that's the apa ya, that's the important part, ya. If someone try to live drawing some objects, or maybe in this case a body of a man or woman, it can, what he's trying to do is he's trying to record what he see.
Yeah, that's
If you
true.
do from your memory, uh, that could be a really a bit complicated, because you are trying to feel what it looks like and what it feels like,
Yeah,
right? And so
that's
what you're trying to do, you're trying to apa ya, kayak 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 a mix between remembering what it looks like, but on its way to your paintbrushes, ya, itu what it feels like. So I think that's what's happening in your work. Yes,
yes,
begitu. Is that true? Kind of sounds true, ya.
yeah,
Sounds good, ya.
it does.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's good. It's good. So there are bodies, and then faces, and then collection of face. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, it's really nuanced, yeah, Azura.
Yeah, I don't necessarily do
I've
lines a
drawn.
lot, so it was kind of my first time actually portraying
Aspect
something
that.
that is with lines. So that was something that is like different for me. But I did ended up like very enjoying it.
I can imagine when you draw the blue piece, yeah, with many faces on it. You're trying to remember as many faces as you can, yeah. Pasti
Yeah,
di situ.
yeah. And then I try to do that, but I try to make like the faces not as um I try to make it as scribbly as possible
That
because
could be, that could
yeah,
be your future improvement, ya. So you don't
yeah.
have to do apa ya, to paint things closer like what they appear, but you paint your feels about the object. Okay, I think
Yes.
that's your clue for your exploration in the future. Begitu.
Thank you.
Cool, cool. Really nuanced, yeah. I like the red one.
All right.
Thank you. It's my favorite one as well, the red one.
Yes. Uh,
maybe maybe because the
yeah,
color
me
red.
too. I like the red one, but not for the obvious, of course. Not for the reason. Actually, it reminds me of a poem by Carol N. Duffy. Dia nulis puisi Standing Female Nude. Cuman dia nulis tentang George Braque ya, penulis Prancis pelukis Prancis ya, George Braque. Mungkin lukisannya gayanya sama kayak itu ya, George Braque. And then the model says in the poem, this painting does not look like me. Lucu aja gitu. So it reminds us that artists see things uniquely and differently. So
Yeah.
I think you are doing great in that aspect.
Thank
If
you.
if you have an artist friend, can you draw my face? And then when he try to draw her face, it's become more ugly because this is what I see you, not what you look like. Gitu.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, definitely. But I do like drawing faces. Like I've always, it's always something that I do a lot.
Okay. Good job, Azura. That's your
Right.
clue for you.
Okay, thank you, Ajay, for sharing with us. All right, so I think we can proceed to the next, last but not least, we have Raihan Wibowo. So let's bring him in.
Halo, Pak.
Hello, Rehan.
Halo, Pak. Good morning.
Okay, so which work you choose to talk? Your centerpiece.
Stolte, I got approached with a work I have called "In the Name of God." It's you can see out of the whole bunch is the orange one.
Can we zoom on one of the paintings?
But I think we can.
Yeah, in the name of God, yeah.
The one with the burning burning fire.
The burning house, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yes,
so,
the burning sun. Okay, in the name of God. My first impression, Pak Indra, is that this has a potential to become a cover for a death metal album ya. Jadi nanti kalau band saya sudah rekaman mungkin bisa pakai ini.
Or
Bowo.
Or an editorial of a newspaper talking about religion ya. Cool. Okay, silakan Rehan.
Yeah, so this artwork I was inspired with first discovering a video that I stumbled upon of forgive my language, but a brutally mutilated villager, if you will, in Chikusik back in 2011, as they were beaten to death due to cause of you could say a victim of religious minority and oppression from governments. So I delved further research into the topic, and I find that there were certain outraged, I guess, villagers. The majority of them were unhappy due to the settlement of specific individuals that follow a different strain of Islam, and because of that, a lot of protest and revolting happened, and a lot of violence ensued.
Iya. Oke. Coba, Farid gimana Farid? Ini I have a lot of about this ya. Gimana Farid?
Mungkin dari segi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Mungkin dari from aesthetic point of view, again it reminds me of, I don't know, somehow death metal cover album type of aesthetics. Ya nggak sih? So terutama from the
really,
inhumane like figure in the at the bottom of the picture. Nah, your inspiration come from? Itu inspirasinya dari mana? That inhumane figure.
So essentially, I was trying to find a way to draw the figure and contextually represent the the context of the artwork, okay, the whole situation. And I find that if I would use too much of an apparent symbol that would correlate directly into the, like, I guess you could say, the whole context of the issue, it would be too bland, and it could come out as a bit sensitive, like really sensitive. And I try to hide these things with a few, like, you could say, depictions of mine, which I actually got inspired through the works of Bekczynski. If you know, he's a Polish artist, and he focuses on nightmare art and a lot of violent representations through the means of like disfigured people and things like that. So yeah, I draw inspiration from him, and I try to make the figure human and inhuman at the same time. As what I tend to do with this, well, with my art is with this one specifically, I try to mimic the human aspect through the, I guess you could say, the biological stance of the figure itself. It has characteristics of a person.
Can I comment, Lehan?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. First of all, I really like how you do with your brushwork.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can see you layering paints again and again. And then there is a certain thickness, yeah, of your is this acrylic oil paint, yeah?
This is oil, yes. Yeah, I layered a lot of paint into this one.
And that's really set up the tone and the nuance of your work. Yeah. When you say this is about specific situation or discrimination situation, yeah, and it kind of oh yeah, I know what it's all. I heard about that news too. And then how you draw the fire. Yeah? I think the expression of your brushwork, yeah, it really reflects your fear, maybe at the same time your disgust about the situation.
Yeah,
okay. And then your choice of symbol in here, there is this probably a human, but it looks inhumane too.
If I may also add, so I placed the, if you can see on the eye of the, I guess you could say eye of the figure. Yeah, it's like I tried to inscribe some religious writings that would represent the issue very well.
And it blinds that creature, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like blind. My intention is blinded by the word of God.
And I assume that creature is the one who burned that house, yeah.
Yeah. You can see the trail coming back.
Yeah. I think this is
right.
This is what I call this. If you talk about something, it's not just about the fact of that stuff, but the feeling, the fear, the nuance of the issue, and it kind of enhance my awareness about the issue, and I can feel how you feel about the issue too by your layering paints, yeah, by the violence you're putting every brush strokes, and I think it's really good. I think it's really good.
Thank you, thank you very much.
I agree with you, right? It's very good.
When I see when I see a work which really sounds true when the artist tell about the issue, it kind of enhance my feeling when I look at the work. It suddenly I see different things, and I see more things on your stuff. Yeah. Both I see the issue. I see the issue,
and
I kind of understand what you feel about the issue, and I think all of artists around the world do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
If you talk about your art, and I really want to see your other works, and you talk about what, you can contact me after this. Yeah.
Yes, man.
We're gonna talk about a lot about this because I talk about similar stuff too.
Yes,
Okay, I think we can talk with all the four artists, Pak. So I think thank you, Bo. Now let's gather all the four artists because there will be a general question for everyone. Go ahead.
Oh, so the apa, phase 2 udah ini ya, udah beres nih.
Okay, so same questions, you guys. Some set of questions for you guys. What was the greatest lesson that you got studying BA for almost 2 years, and what's your advice for students who are considering taking this subject? Rex,
Yes,
what
but
do you think?
I don't know about the greatest lesson, but I do have some sort of advice, I guess. So I guess like if you take arts, like don't sell yourself short on your artworks, and make sure you're gonna enjoy the process and enjoy the themes you're gonna explore. Gitu-gitu aja sih, Pak. I don't have too much to say.
Okay, all right. Man of few words. That's Rex. All right, Yasmin, go ahead. What's your
Um, I guess for my lesson is that I have also discovered and besides visual, discover new things outside arts, and also I've improved a lot uh, in like assignments and stuff. But for my advice, I think do a lot of research first before you want to go to visual arts, and if you don't have any um, like future in relationships in arts, don't do it because it's kind of hard. But again, as like I think Sifa said, trust the process, and I'm sure you'll be good in the process.
All right. Thank you, Yasmin. Ajay, what do you think?
For me personally, whatever you do, just don't do anything last minute. With arts, like it definitely takes a process to finish it. You know, there's like comparative studies, process portfolios, and your artwork and the exhibition text and curatorial and everything. So it's a lot of work, and you know, try to be as punctual as possible. And jangan nunda-nunda. But and like experience with and like experiment with as much as materials as possible. Definitely.
All right. Bo, how about you?
I think like for those who wants to approach arts, I think you really have to know what you're getting into at first, like the subject itself. But once that's done, I suppose you can at least know your actual theme and enjoy it as much as you can, because that's going for like a 2 year ride, essentially, right, of art making. And also, I think you just need to try to experiment a lot or perfect your craft while you create artworks, and make yourself a little bit better, and the outcome would progressively get better.
All right. So yeah, so for students who are considering taking IBDP Visual Arts, these are some of the words to live by when you are taking this course. All right. So I think that sums
Can
it
I
up.
ya, Mas Arif, sebentar
Mhm.
about
Yeah,
this
go ahead.
Okay. In addition to my previous summary, what people so many got misunderstanding. Great art does not always talk about great things. Okay. So sometimes we kinda get confused about, oh, great art is must be talk about society or heavy stuff like that. But remember this, guys. Yeah, the most creative is the most personal. So that's where that if you really true to yourself, yeah, if you ready to become vulnerable in front of an audit or a publican, and you kind of accept yourself, yeah, and then that accepting process then express to your art making. I think that is the great work, yeah. Not always just to talk about great stuff, but what most close to you and what you really understand. Begitu. Thank you so much, guys. Really good job.
Yes, thank you.
Oke, kita lanjut ke
Guys.
iya.
Yes. Thank you so
Hello.
much.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. I think we can proceed to Pak Arif and Pak Indra's last final statements before we move on to the next session, if there's anything you want to add.
Okay, for me ya, what's really interesting to dig deep into in each artist mind ya. You become you become sebentar itu kamu merasakan ini, tiba-tiba kamu merasakan yang lain gitu. Nah kayak gitu tuh kalau misalnya datang ke pameran itu dan seniman itu benar-benar put effort gitu setiap karyanya itu. Jadi kayak lah tiba-tiba kita ngomongin politik, tiba-tiba kita ngomongin tapi itu tuh sama kuatnya gitu. Dan I think most of great artists tuh really express themselves through what they understand about their own life gitu. And I kind of see
Betul.
baru 8 orang nih kayak aduh tadi siapa aja ya, gila nih, boleh juga nih gitu. Kayak gitu.
Iya. Dan ingat guys di theory of knowledge ya, epistemology, arts is one is
Ya. Pak Arif, we can hear you. Regala, maybe you can take over. Yeah.
Okay. Kayaknya Pak Arif nge-lag. Jadi, just wait. Oh, he's back. Okay. All right. So take over. Thank you so much, Pak Indra and Pak Arif, for leading this discussion today. I think that's all for the artist talk session for today. Well, thank you so much, Pak Indra, for participating. It couldn't have been as lively without you. And also Pak Arif, but you'll be seeing him a little bit after this.
Ngobrol lagi sih sama seru soalnya. Jadi pengen ngoceh.
No, iya, emang.
That's true.
That's true. The time bound, exactly. All right. Thank you so much, Pak. Aduh. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye. See you later. All right. Now we are going to move on to the next session, which is the film screening. We have a total of 5 films from the DP film students. We are going to be starting with Grief by Aisha Rayana, who is the director, editor, cinematographer, and actor. Also with Arifa Konita, who is the scriptwriter. This short film is about a girl stuck in an abandoned house who starts going insane as she pushes herself to decipher the situation. However, this movie has a few trigger warnings because it contains blood, suicidal behavior, and drug use. So if you are somehow sensitive to those subjects and it is an emotional trigger for you, I suggest you click away from the stream starting from now. Now it's 9:58. The film screening should start in about a minute. So I suggest you come back during 10:07 to watch the rest of the movies, which do not have any triggering scenes. Okay. So, without any further ado, enjoy the movie.
Wake up.
Is this what you want?
I've never wanted anything.
Is this what you wanted back then too?
No,
What did you want then?
help. I wanted someone to help. Because I wanted to live.
Where will you go?
I don't know.
Will you be happy?
Maybe.
What will you do?
Live.
All right. Wow.
Wow,
I feel
that was
yeah. I think there's a lot to uncover for that. I think that's
yes,
when the directors talk come in handy.
yes, that's true. That's true. Okay, so let's move on to the next movie. In this next movie, the title is going to be The Daily Routine. It is directed, written, and edited by Adam Pasaribu. It is about a young man that goes about his daily life in this pandemic. We're going to watch it together now. I hope you enjoy it.
Roll clip.
Sis. Jangan dilakukan. Next. Ah, nanti. Eh.
Wow, that was. I would say that it's unconventional, don't you think, Regala?
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
But
It's
it's
something
something
we
that we can all relate to.
definitely 100%, especially during these tough times.
Exactly.
All right, moving on to the third movie, we have Deep Sleep by Raja Muhammad Rifki Anam, who is the director, cinematographer, scriptwriter. This movie is about a student artist who accidentally went into the under, a deep sleep where he meets his creations. Enjoy.
Leo, bangun Leo. Sudah jam berapa ini? Le? Leo?
Halo, ada orang nggak ya? Ada orang nggak ya?
Mau kemana?
Wow.
I know, right? Wow.
Yeah. I'm definitely spooked. Or I'm a scaredy cat. I don't know. There's no in between. Fair enough, fair enough. All right.
Okay.
Next one?
Yes, sure. So this next movie is titled as Afterthought. It is directed, written, and designed by Akira Bila Sudarto, and it involves another student, Dava, as the actor. It is about a journey of a young man who loses his perception of reality. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, let's watch it together then. Ooh.
Enjoy.
No talk, just deliver. Make it fast.
I want you to come here. Come here. Come here. Look at me. Come on, look at me. Just look at me. Look at me. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Hey. Wake up. What? Oh, this again. I'll see you later.
How's the guy doing, Devano? I only got onions here. You're not here. I know. Hey! I know. Hey! Come back here! Where to run, sir? Get up, run!
Still with the I'm sorry.
You done?
Go a ciggy, bud. I got the lighter, but I want to smoke a dot. So you got any?
What are you talking about, man?
Hello?
What time is it? I gotta get somewhere.
Mate? So you got any ciggy? No? Where you going? Where you off to? Can I have a ciggy? Jesus Christ.
Wow, that was such a thrilling ride.
Definitely. Oh my god. So much to unpack as well later in the director's talk.
Yes.
All right. So we are on to the last film, but definitely not least. It is the Year 11 students entitled Berdosa. It is by Keisha Bell, who is the director, Alia, who is the writer, and Maraska, who is the producer and assistant set director. So this film is about an unclear account of a murder in the investigation room as the residents of the crime scene explain their side of the story. Enjoy.
Jangan berbenah di antara sesama, wahai kawan. Itulah dalam bicara, janganlah suka berdosa. Berdosa.
Sila mas, kotor ya mas, ruangannya jelek.
7 Juni 2015 pukul 16.38. Silakan cerita. Sebenarnya apa yang terjadi?
Saya lagi di dapur, bikin suguhan buat majikan saya sama tamunya. Mereka sih lagi di ruang kerja. Pas saya ke sana, lama-lama dengar suara kayak mukul-mukul gitu berulang-ulang. Ya, saya jalan pelan-pelan, terus saya ngeliat pintu ruangannya kebuka dikit. Ya, sebenarnya agak sopan sih, tapi kan saya penasaran. Terus saya ngeliat darah di lantai. Awalnya saya mikir, itu bakal susah banget ngilangin nodanya. Tapi saya perhatiin, ada badan tamu bapak kelihatan. Udah di lantai, terus darahnya ngalir.
Pas saya dengar gelas pecah, saya baru setengah sadar, baru bangun tidur. Terus ya biasa, saya tidur lagi. Saya itu kerjanya sebenarnya cuman benerin barang sama nyupir mas. Kalau ada yang ngerampok, biasanya yang ngurusin tuh Anissa. Kayak waktu itu tuh, ada anjing masuk halaman. Gak tahu gimana cara dia masuknya. Cuman, saya nggak berani. Saya hampir kencing di...
Saya pertama kali dengar itu suara gelas pecah. Anissa, dia nggak ceroboh. Jadi saya tahu ada yang salah. Itu kesalahan pertama saya. Seharusnya langsung ngecek keluar, tapi saya pikir mungkin Jessica yang jatuhin gelasnya. Jadi saya biarkan. Belum lama, terus saya dengar suara Anissa dan Tatang berantem.
Aku nggak dengar suara gelas pecah sih, soalnya tadi aku lagi di kamar. Iya gitu aja.
Terus, habis itu gimana?
Ya, terus saya lari. Langsung ke kamar Mas Tatang. Dianya sih masih tidur, dengerin Cherry Bell pakai volume tinggi.
Oh iya, saya emang lagi dengerin Cherry Bell pas Anissa masuk kamar. Padahal itu saya lagi kebawa mimpi loh mas. Saya lagi di konser Cherry Bell terakhir sebelum mereka bubar. Sampai sekarang aja saya belum sempet beli tiketnya. Mahal soalnya. Nah, di situ mereka lagi nyanyi.
Saya tampar dia dikit-dikit. Pas saya berhentiin lagunya, dia baru bangun, protes gitu. Terus saya ceritain apa yang saya lihat. Majikan kita tuh baru ngebunuh tamu. Gue gak tahu kenapa, gak tahu harus gimana, dan gak tahu cara ngomong polisinya. Awalnya dia gak percaya. Katanya sih mau lihat pakai mata sendiri. Ya udah saya bilang, kalau mau ke atas hati-hati aja, nanti bakal lihat. Dia keluar kamar, terus saya ditinggalin. Balik-balik kakinya berdarah. Katanya sih gak sengaja nginjek gelas pecah. Jalan balik aja udah pincang-pincang.
Saya tidak tahu Anissa dan Tatang berkelahi tentang apa. Waktu saya keluar, saya ingin menangkan apapun yang mereka ricuhkan. Tapi ada anak saya. Dia ketakutan. Katanya, Mbak ngebunuh tamu kita, teman saya. Terus kita berdua ngeliat gelas pecah yang ada darahnya.
Aku dengar Mbak Anissa dan Mas Tatang berantem.
Tunggu. Kamu dengar mereka berantem, tapi nggak dengar gelas pecah?
Iya, aku berhentiin musik yang aku dengerin.
Oke, terus?
Terus aku ke ruang kerja, ketemu Bapak. Aku ceritain apa yang aku dengar. Pas kita lihat gelas pecah itu, kita langsung telepon polisi. Udah.
Tatang nggak sepanik saya. Gak tahu, mukanya nggak kebaca sama sekali. Cuma duduk-duduk aja. Saya sih mondar-mandir di kamar. Katanya Bapak udah nggak di ruang kerja lagi. Nggak tahu kemana. Si Tatang malah diem aja. Kan sayanya jadi kesel.
Saya malah diteriakin, Mas. Majikan kita baru aja bunuh orang. Mau diem aja. Gitu. Sebenarnya sih saya masih nggak percaya apa yang Anissa bilang. Tapi jujur aja ya, Mas. Saya takut sama anak majikan kita, Mas. Iya, dia emang ngeremin. Sadis, Mas, dia.
Langsung nelfon polisi. Enggak. Mungkin itu anak saya. Mungkin anak saya lupa. Tapi enggak, saya bilang ke anak saya. Mungkin dia salah dengar. Terus kita turun bareng, mau nyuruh Anissa dan Tatang buat berhenti berantem. Saya lihat kaki Tatang yang berdarah. Terus saya tahu, kalau nggak bakal buat cepet, dia bakal jadi korban selanjutnya. Saya yakin Anissa yang ngebunuh. Tatang. Tatang nggak mungkin. Dia takut sama semuanya.
Seharusnya sih saya nggak habisin waktu untuk berantem sama Mas Tatang. Tapi saya nggak ngerti deh, kenapa dia nggak mau bantu saya? Kenapa dia nggak mau nelfon polisi?
Kita harus beritahu sekarang.
Jadi siapa yang membunuh? Jessica. Dia nggak gambar takut orangnya. Dia ajak ke atas buat kasih tahu kalau Anissa dan Tatang lagi berantem. Tapi kalian nggak langsung ke bawah. Kalian berantem. Bapak bilang kalau ini semua dilakuin buat dia. Jessica nggak percaya. Kalian nggak pernah dan nggak akan bahagia. Makan malam aja nggak pernah ketemu. Dia nggak mau bohong, tapi dia harus. Cerita kalian berdua bolong. Banyak detil yang mungkin gak sempet diobrolin pas kalian bikin cerita buat nyalahin Anissa untuk pembunuhan Anda. Kalian bawa korbannya keluar. Sempetin ngepel darah dan ngilangin sidik jari dari gelas yang dipakai buat ngebunuh. Naruh 2 gelas pecah yang dipakai di sebelahnya karena tahu polisi bakal pakai itu buat bukti. Yang saya nggak ngerti itu, kenapa Tatang nggak nyalahin? Tapi dia juga nggak bela Bapak. Dia nggak ada untungnya. Nggak tahu dia emang bodoh atau dia emang sengaja membela Bapak. Kenapa nggak belain Anissa? Kenapa dia nggak bisa nentuin dia di sisi siapa?
Mau tahu dia untungnya apa? Cherry Bell. Sekarang saya tanya, Mas. Mas nggak capek berurusan dengan orang kayak saya terus? Nggak capek ngelihat orang kayak saya yang brengsek ini menang, menindas orang bawah terus? Mas nggak ada kemauan lain? Karena sejujurnya, saya bisa membuat itu nyata. Hanya lepasin saya dari sini. Saya bisa ngasih Mas apapun yang Mas mau. Mau itu uang, promosi, atau tiket nonton Cherry Bell. Bilang aja. Yang penting saya keluar. Jadi gimana, Mas? Mas Rohmat mau nonton konser Cherry Bell? Mas mau? Tiket konser nonton Cherry Bell buat Mas Rohmat dan Mas Tatang. Jadi, apapun itu, hanya saja lepaskan saya dari masalah ini.
All right. That is not what I was expecting for a synopsis like that. Yeah, what do you think, Ichan?
Oh, it was great. I enjoyed it.
Did not expect that. Also, turns out the short film Afterthought by Akira actually has a post-credit scene. So let's watch it together, shall we? Let's go. Roll clip at some point.
Action. Make it fast.
Oh wow.
All right, that was pretty short. All right. I guess that's all the films. We've screened all the films, right, Icha? Yeah, that's all the films. Wow. All right then. So moving on to the last session of today. Oh no. We'd like to invite Pa Arif back to the stream to lead the director's talk. And we'd also like to invite all the directors up to the stream for the director's talk, which is Aisha, Raja, Akira, Alia, and Keisha. Hello, Pa Arif.
Hello.
How are you?
I am better connection, I suppose.
Better connection. That's great. That's awesome.
Open my jacket, so I hope that will make the connection somewhat clear. I have also do some voodoo dance in the hope that the technology today will help me in the process.
Always.
That's just me.
Oh, everyone's here. Hello.
Hello, guys.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Are you ready?
Okay. All right. Shall we have a dialogue with the director one by one? Yeah.
Proceed. Yes.
Let's see.
Who is
Okay.
first?
Okay. I'm gonna start with Aisha. How are you, Aisha?
Hi, I'm good. How
All
are
right.
you, Arif?
I'm doing great. Okay, maybe the first word that comes to my mind upon viewing your film is it is a very claustrophobic experience.
Yes,
It was
which is why
pretty claustrophobic. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's with this claustrophobia, Aisha?
Well-
Is that something that you are aiming for here, concept wise?
Yes.
I aimed that because, of course, through the cinematography, I mainly worked on the cinematography, and I really wanted to emphasize the claustrophobic feeling that grief can give you. And as we're going through the 5 stages of grief, the lens kind of gets bigger and bigger, and kind of like it gets wider and wider, and the lighting kind of gets brighter and brighter, which gets quote unquote less claustrophobic. But it's definitely what I wanted from the way that the lens is used, and the way that the coloring is used, and the way that the symmetry is used. So yeah, I'm really happy that you feel that way about the film.
Yeah, I suppose in that regard, you succeed. You succeed at conveying that sense of suffocations, yeah, right? So, onward to, let's talk about inspiration first. Inspiration. I don't know. Shirley Jackson, was that also an inspiration?
Well, it's Arifa's the script writer. We all know how much he loves Shirley Jackson. So screenplay wise and script wise, of course, there's a Shirley Jackson influence. For the cinematography and the direction, I took a lot of inspiration from Stanley Kubrick, David Fincher, Denis Villeneuve, Bong Joon-ho, and Darren Aronofsky, which are my 5 my favorite film directors. And I took a lot of inspiration from Requiem of a Dream, especially because I felt like that film was very visceral in the way that it communicated feelings, and communicated the feelings of sort of like losing yourself and to an addiction, stuff like that. So yeah, that's like kind of inspirations.
Interesting when you mentioned those directors, because they were somehow able to provide a glimpse of those fine line between reality and dream, right?
Yeah.
So is there an interest, a specific interest in treating this issue of the fine line between reality and dream, and insanity? Why is this the issue that you want to tackle in this short film?
The reason why I really enjoy tackling and really wanted to tackle this issue is because I feel like the line between them have been quite literally blurred. I don't think you can differentiate what is reality, what is a dream, what is insanity anymore, because it feels like those are all things that exist within reality, and those are all things that are possible in reality. And I think in this film, I tried my hardest to try to blur those lines, but still make it clear the difference between what was actually going on, and how the timeline worked, and how nonlinear, and how the feelings and the sort of what state the character is in to be very blurred, in order for the audience to sort of understand the similarities and the lack of sort of difference that a person going through the cycle can feel with reality and insanity and make-believe.
Okay. Before we delve more into the technicalities of the film, I feel that towards the end of the film, where the door kind of opens, right, and the scene is filled with bright light. So which one is more scary? The world inside that is claustrophobic, or the outside world? So which one is scarier here?
For me, I don't think my opinion matters in this, because I feel like this film is very much a film that you watch 3 times and create your own interpretation. So whether I think the world outside is more scary, whether there is a world outside, whether the world outside is real or not, doesn't matter to the audience's enjoyment of the film. I think that the audience should come up with their own conclusions on whether or not they think the world outside is scarier, or the world inside is better for the character to protect herself, or the world outside is better for her to feel free and to quote unquote live, as she says in the film. But yeah, I don't think my answer really matters. I think I want to keep it up to the audience's interpretation of whether or not the world is scary or not, which world is better.
Right. Because again, when you explore the psyche, through a film, it's like you're basically trying to project. You are cataloging the world, right? And then you project that. So again, my interpretation, of course, will be different from the audience interpretation. So if you have questions about this film, guys, just feel free to fire away your questions in the chat section.
There's no guarantee that we will answer in detail, but I'll try.
All right. Okay. So technique then, because I'm sure a lot of audience here are film buff, not only in terms of viewing films, watching films, but also about the techniques, equipment, and so on. So tell us the story behind the making of this film. How was the process?
So the film went through so many stages. We started off with like really meta film where it was like I was going to be talking to the screen and like my emotion, like my face, like the expression of a character was going to be like the main thing that we see. Like we were going to use like extreme close-ups. I don't know if you watch The Handmaid's Tale, but The Handmaid's Tale often employs like an extreme close-up of the face to show an emotive, lingering shot. But after thinking it over, I thought that, well, can't our story be explained through body language? Can't our story be explained through mise en scène? And that's how we got to how grief is right now. And we filmed the entire thing in a day. We only used 2 cameras, but we definitely wanted to emphasize that claustrophobic feel as much as we can, from the denial sequence to the depression sequence, which of course the acceptance sequence at the end will be a little more open, a little less claustrophobic. We really focused on the mise en scène because we feel like it was more important for us for one frame to be able to say so much rather than having like multiple long frames to explain this whole caricature of the story. So if you watch my film back, you'll be able to focus on one frame. There's this one particular frame that I absolutely love at the start where the character receives a call and then she turns around and then there's a paper that says grief is characterized by the 5 stages, the first stage of denial, something like that. And she lifts up her hand and it has the writing grief. And then behind it, there's denial and there's a pill and there's the writing of what is this place. I think that the importance of one frame being able to describe the entire story is so much more important than the whole entire movie being able to sort of linger on the story and give explanations throughout as like a long form explanation, like through dialogue and stuff. So that's what I, process for me.
And I think again, this is in line with the not mission, yeah, maybe the style, like David Lynch. We are still talking about his we are still talking about his films, right? Mulholland Drive. Countless books have been written about Mulholland Drive, and there's still lots of theories, including and also Kubrick, one of your influences.
Yes,
All right.
which is exactly what I intended. I like a film that has theories. I don't like films that are straightforward and tell you everything, which is why I feel like if people want to truly understand my film, you have to watch it a few times over and like analyze it.
And also about the Mr. and Scanner, Miss and Scene. I always mispronounce that word. Yeah, so sorry you guys, film buffs, film study teacher. I apologize. Miss and Scanner, Miss Ong Sin, I think, something like
Mise
that.
en scène.
Yeah, Miss Ong Sin, yeah. I know it just reminds me of that one film by Ingmar Bergman. I think
Persona?
Scene from a Marriage.
Oh, that one.
Yes, Persona, and also the Scene from a Marriage. Not necessarily like lots of dialogues in Scenes from a Marriage, but the idea is the same. Like you can convey, like the story happens elsewhere. You know what I mean? Like you are making the film. Your film is set in one quote unquote place, but the story happens elsewhere. You know, when we are watching your film, the story itself is happening elsewhere, and I think you've done a good job
Thank you.
achieving that in your film.
Yeah, I think that
maybe one
I think that
Sorry,
when
you
I
were
just
saying?
no, sorry. I think that when I discussed this film with a lot of people, with my test audience especially, they all had differing reactions to it. Some people thought it was the afterlife, and some people thought that the character was dead the whole time or alive in some scenes and dead in some others. So I think that the things that provoke reaction, like you mentioned before, is very important through mise en scène, of course.
Yeah, true. Different lenses will provide different interpretation, right? Like my first reaction was, okay, I think this is about adulthood. You know, wait, like
That's a new one. That's a new one,
right?
actually.
I mean, yeah, adulthood. I mean, because you are in the last year of high school, you are beginning your journey, and then there is this world where it is scary. Diploma program is scary, guys.
It's very scary.
And now you have this like door which gives you a way to quote unquote finish it
Adulthood
all.
is, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
right.
actually,
So, but
yeah, that's actually a new interpretation, and I really like it. I really, really like it. It's a good interpretation.
all right. But again, I always tell this in my literature class that even the author, when creating his or her work, might not be able to formulate what it is they are creating. They are just merely an antenna, like a big antenna receiving messages from, from above, something
Yeah.
like that. Okay, Aisa, thank you very much for
Thank you
sharing
so much, Pak.
a glimpse to the person behind the film.
Yes.
Talk to you later. We will talk with all the directors. All right,
Yes.
onward to the next director. We have Raja Anam. Okay, can we have Raja Anam?
Halo, Pak.
Hello, Raja. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Can you hear me clearly?
That's my voice.
Okay. All right. Just now I've had I was joking with my colleagues, with my fellow teacher, that your film is set in at school, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I said to my colleagues, your film can be the reason working from home is extended until 2025 because people have gotten people are scaring open viewing the film. You knowing that it's set at school, right? Or, okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna work from home until 2025. Okay, so what's with this?
Actually,
Okay, I can't. Okay, it seems that your voice is breaking up. Can you check your microphone?
uh,
Yeah.
can you hear me now, Pak?
Hello. Okay, is it from my microphone or Raja's microphone?
Everyone.
Oh, okay. Let's try this one more time. So, Raja, what's with this genre? What makes you interested in this genre, horror? Okay, technical difficulty. Okay. Yeah, it's still moving. I think. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I guess while Raja is fixing technical difficulty, I think we can proceed to the next director. While Raja is working on the thing, gently kick his computer, but no, don't do that. Akira Bilal. Okay, let's call upon Akira.
Hello, is my voice normal? Is it okay? Uh-oh.
Hello, Akira. Can you hear me clearly?
Hello? Yes, yes.
Hello. Okay. Okay. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
All right. I'm doing fine. Okay. Your film is very interesting. I
Yes,
uh,
thanks.
I, I like to see it as a cross between Born Identity slash Trainspotting slash right. There is that element of disorientation, but also like it has potential to become a like feature length film. So
Mhm.
what is the inspiration behind this? Your film is very yeah, as I said, born identity slash transporting. Is that the effect that you are aiming here, or what? Tell us about your
No.
film.
Actually, my inspirations were actually from a music video. The story
Mm-hmm.
itself, I forgot where I got the inspiration from, but from the cinematography and the story about the main story itself, the costumes, I got it from several different music videos. From first of all, it's The Weekend, as
Mm.
you might know at this point, and secondly,
Mm-hmm.
it's from another music video which shows Japanese cinema, which is a music video by musical artist named Kate Ranada, and his music video "Look Easy," which shows a Japanese cinema type
Mm.
film.
Okay. Okay. So
But probably
I
some of it is from Rush Hour. Rush Hour,
Rush
the
Hour,
movie from
the Rush
with
Hour.
Jackie Chan. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. That was unexpected. Rush Hour. Okay. Um, I've only watched one of the Weekends video. I think there's the one featuring Rick. I don't know if you're familiar with this. The mod one of the models in his video, Rick Wilder. There's this one
No.
video featuring an
No, I'm sorry.
aging man. But anyway, okay. So taking inspiration from video clips, music videos. Does this mean that story is not a story is not a priority here, uh, in the sense that you want to convey an atmosphere, or what?
No, the story itself, I want to, like, what I'm trying to portray is actually stress that is, which the main character itself is suffering from, which, and it is shown by from his imagination, which are the guys in mask, which, shout out to my guys, shout out, Ano, Bowo, Rex, Rafa, and Dafa, and Dave, of course, the cameraman. They're they're trying to. So basically, why I told them, at first I told them to wear dark colors, right? And we agreed on using suits at the end, since we want to make it a classy look, you know. But why using dark colors is to represent stress and darkness, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Now, of course, when you are handling a deeply psychological issue such as darkness and stress, maybe a bit of a depression, um, like it fears towards dream. So I suppose there will be a lot of symbols in the films, like the masked man and then the
Yes.
briefcase itself. So
Yes.
what are these? What do they symbolize? Because when you said, okay, this guy is stressed, this guy is becoming consumed by darkness, all right, but man, what do these things symbolize?
Yeah, they symbolize the actually I was about to make it as their personality, as the main characters' personalities, which each of the masked people represent. But with limited preparation, I don't think I'm able to actually show that. But yeah, it represents the main character's personality, and the briefcase itself. It's a form of trauma, since because at the very end, at the very end of the movie, where the main character like sees the Australian guy walking towards him. He's actually not afraid of the guy itself, but of being traumatized of his dream, where the briefcase is his main objective.
All right. Okay. All right. Now let's proceed with questions about technique, right? The filming itself. So, tell us about the filming process. What equipment you used, how long it took, and maybe any difficulties involved in the process.
So
For the benefits of film
equipment I
fans out
use.
there.
Okay, the
Yes.
equipment I used is actually Rafa's Canon M50, which is a mirrorless camera with normal lens, the normal mirrorless lens. Then for the several of the cars, for the car scenes, I actually had to hold the camera myself using another car, which is very risky because changing a camera is not that cheap, like buying one. Then we used a car mount for one scene. We used a stabilizer, and the difficulties would be actually finding a spot for shooting itself, since there are some scenes where we had to shoot in public places, which was in Karawaci. We had to go very far, since we know a spot, an empty spot. Then for several scenes we actually use a stabilizer. Then for the technical difficulties, we had to find a lightning source, source of light, because which I rented, the batteries seemed to be broken. So yeah, that's one. Then we had limited storyboard. Then I think the hardest part of the shoot is actually finding the spot itself, since we're actually disturbing other people. But luckily we didn't, and everything it goes well.
Yeah, because I noticed because sorry, we were
It
saying
took 2 days to shoot.
Oh, 2 days. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I noticed because there seems to be lots of degree of collaboration in your film with it's basically Akira and the gang basically.
Yes.
All right. Okay. One last question is this. So after the credits, there is this interesting sentence about Raja first. What is Raja first?
It's the Rajaverse. It's where it's like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But where a dreams and reality is basically going everywhere. It's just something I made up.
So does this mean
shout out
that
the interns,
you will feature in Raja's film, for example? Deep
I hope
Sleep?
so.
Okay.
I hope so.
All right,
Deep
we
Sleep too.
are so looking forward to that. Yeah, Raja first, guys. So
yes,
we're looking forward to that. Thank you, Akira.
Yes.
It's very enlightening. Now we're gonna proceed with the next.
Shown in it.
All right.
Not.
Raja. Okay. Next.
Halo, Pak.
I hope that the technical difficulty has been.
I hope so too, but oh my god, I'm sorry later. My audio, something wrong with my audio.
Hello.
Papa, can you hear me clearly now?
Oh, okay. Yes, I can. How about you? Can you hear me clearly? Okay.
Yes, I can. Thank God. Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, Raja, the person who will be responsible for extending WFH, yeah, again, because it's very scary. Okay, so why horror genre? What interests you in this genre?
Okay, so basically, story-wise, it is pretty simple. I want to make a movie that has a message behind it, of course, because that most of us probably encounter during this pandemic, which I found is the lack of sleep or insomnia, where we have unscheduled sleep and tons of work that we cannot manage so well. And then yeah, so I came up with the horror theme because I want to like metaphorically uh, give a message that it is dangerous. Like the monsters represent danger. If you lack of sleep, that's what you get. It's dangerous. And as a inspiration, I really look up to Alter. It's like a YouTube channel that makes this different variation of short film, especially horror. Yes, and I took the idea from Stranger Things, where the boy got stuck in a dark version of reality, and I used that as my protagonist in my movie. And also, I took the Alfred Hitchcock style of giving away information to the audience that the character cannot see. Like when the character was just walking and then only the audience can see it. So yeah, those the horror is just basically to support my message.
Okay, so interesting. So the message is more significant than the horror itself. Okay, so that's a good information, fellow teachers. So do not be afraid of coming to school to work after everything is safe. Okay, not now. All right. Okay. So tell us about the filming process.
Okay.
Because I think again it was filmed at school. So go ahead. Tell us about
Okay, so
everything about the process.
if I could start, I planned this whole production on February, before the pandemic was starting to happen. I already make the script and everything, but then yes, on March the pandemic hit, so I postponed my production until July. Where it's really hard for me to get the permission to shoot. It took me 2 weeks to get the permission because I was filming with collaborate people. I was actually filming with my uncle, so yes, my uncle helped me to film this. So yes, in the school, of course, we do the whole protocol. We all social distance, of course. It took us almost the whole day. The shooting is just for one day. We were actually we decided to shoot it in the morning, even though I want it at night. But we're playing we're playing in the post production, which comes after editing. So like what you see is supposed to be at night, but it's in the morning, the shooting. Yeah. What else? I think that's it. That's basically the shooting process of the.
So all right. So and it shows how editing would help. So guys, if you are for budding filmmaker out there, if you are hindered by the weather, or by you're supposed to shoot at night, but it's not possible, don't forget about editing. All right, editing can help you in this process. So what's your reaction now that people are more interested in discussing the horror aspect of the film than the message? Because okay, lack of sleep is dangerous, right? Unscheduled sleep is dangerous. So it's, I think, true for everyone during this pandemic. So what's your reaction that people are more drawn or more interested in the horror aspect of your film? Does that bother you?
It does not, as long they know the message of the movie. I'm actually really grateful because my horror effect impress the audience, I guess. Yes, I wasn't really thinking about a horror movie. It is actually going to, my movie is actually psychological. Like it's about thinking. It's not about fully horror movie. So yeah, I'm very grateful, I guess, when the whole reaction turns out to be wider than it's supposed to be.
Okay. Okay. Before previously, I also talked to Akira. I mentioned about Raja first. So now from the source himself. So tell us about this. What is Raja first? Raja.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know, but to be honest, maybe it's the future production house that we're going to make between me and Akira and the other film students. Maybe.
All right. Okay. So Akira, yeah, that's the answer for that question. Yeah, he said let's go Raja, yeah.
Yeah.
Raja first. Okay. So what's next after this, Raja? What other challenges you wanna tackle in terms of films?
I definitely wanna extend my uh, my movie, the Deep Sleep. I wanna make the second and third part, and then I wanna learn more about the my filming skills, of course, in script writers. I want to read more screenplays. I want to watch more movies and series to extend my vision of my style. For my cinematography skill, I want to learn more about the equipment. I want to learn more about angles and everything. And directing too, I want to talk to the professionals and stuff like that. So that's what next for me.
Okay. All right. Interesting when you mentioned those elements, cinematography and then script writing and directing. Which one would you say is the most challenging so far, like for you personally, when making Deep Sleep?
Well, all of them are challenging, of course. It all comes in preparation, everything. But if I would choose one, probably uh, I would choose the directing, of course. Yeah, I would choose directing because I always find difficulties on the field during the production, like whether I should improvise or stick with the script or storyboard. Because when we're doing the production in field, we always follow the storyboard. But my idea on how to overcome it is to just get a lot of stock shots, improvise in the scenes. So later on, I have more footage for the editing. So yes, directing is probably one of them.
All right. Thank you, Raja. It was very enlightening discussion, and we'll talk more after this with everybody else. So I suppose we can now call upon our next director and filmmaker, Alia and Keishandel, I suppose. Uh-huh.
Halo. Halo, Pak.
Good morning, Alia.
Morning, Pak.
Can you hear? Hi, hello. Keishabel, good morning. Could you please turn your camera on?
Maaf,
All
Pak.
right.
I'm not currently in the right setting. I'm very sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. All right. So, berdosa. All right. In terms of diction, word choice, it's a very intriguing choice of title berdosa. But after completing this film, I get a very Rashomon vibe, where people have different perspective and there is no way to arrive at one truth. Is this the effect that you are aiming for? The multiple version of truths. Is that one aspect that you are aiming for in this film, Alia and Kaishabel?
Yeah, definitely. I think what I was most interested about when I was writing the script is that every story is different, not just the perspective and like what they see, but also in the way kind of they talk. Like you could see Tatang, who's played by Bendera. He always kind of goes off topic and kind of talks about stuff that isn't important, and that is also a way for him to like kind of avoid actually answering the question. And yeah, it was thing that I really wanted to like explore in this movie, I guess.
Okay. And what is the degree of your collaboration in terms of when making the concept from this film? Maybe Keshabel can help answer this question. So, what is the degree of collaboration here between you and Alia in this
Well,
project?
we developed the premise together. Initially, the project was like in the very, very beginning before we submitted the idea, it was like me and Mar trying to build the premise, but then we couldn't really come up with anything, and we invited Alia, and then we ended up working together. So the script and the premise was something that we worked on together. Of course, mostly Alia developed the script, and in terms of like the filming and everything, everyone was involved, and there was actually we had about I think 8 crew members during the filming. So in terms of like collaboration with everyone else, like besides just me and Alia, there was a few more people that were involved.
Okay. If, so, are there any parts in this film that are improvised, or is everything scripted?
There was some scenes that were improvised. I think one scene that was changed the most that I didn't really know it was going to be changed was the one where Kundet was tied up to a chair. That was not in the script at all. So yeah, I think yeah, right. Yeah, there was a lot of changes, and I think also we had to cut off some dialogues because it was a bit too long, and we wanted the movie to kind of be more fast paced. I guess we didn't want it to be kind of boring to the audience because it was supposed to be like something comedic. So I guess that's why we also used kind of more one shot in the cinematography. So yeah, there was some parts that had to be cut off. Yeah, during the editing, we realized that the planning was that it was going to be 6 minutes, but then it ended up being 10 minutes instead. And during that time, I was like re-questioning everything, and I ended up removing like a lot of the dialogues from like Kundera, a lot of the comedic scenes that were supposed to be there. So I ended up focusing more towards the plot for the pacing.
Yeah, I noticed because in lots of films where it involves dialogues, right, and exposition, basically, yeah, there is exposition. There is a kind of pull and push, like how much information you want to convey to the audience through dialogue, for example. I think a good example would be that film Shaun of the Dead, Simon Pegg.
Never
I
heard
think
of
it
it.
starts Simon. Okay, it's called Shaun of the Dead. It's a parody of Dawn of the Dead. It stars Simon Pegg. They've got this great. The director has a great style of telling the audience with minimal use of words, which I think will be very interesting as a reference. All right. Okay, lots of crews. There's some improvisation. So tell us about the process itself for the benefits of the film buffs in the audience. How long it took, what's the equipment used, and technical challenges faced when making the films? Go ahead.
The filming took 2 days and the editing took 3. But actually there was like a lot of challenges on our like time and resources. We made our timeline like really tight because initially we wanted to like optimize natural lighting, therefore we wanted to film like during the day. But of course that couldn't happen, like our scheduling really got pushed back and we ended up finishing at like midnight at like both days. So we ended up we rented Fresnel light for the second day, and that part was quite challenging as well because we had to like pick up the lighting. It was in Chiladok and our filming was in Cibubur. And on the first day, our filming was in Bintaro. So like regarding the location, it was quite difficult to get by. Um, a lot of the shots were intentionally handheld for like the intensity, so we didn't use much gear for the filming. Of course, we had we had tripod for some of the still shots, but besides that, it was like handheld. So we optimized the crew a lot. Yeah, basically that's it for the technicalities.
Is there anything to add here, Alia?
No, I don't understand the technical parts at all. So that's why I just wrote the script.
All right, all right. Okay. So obviously there was a time constraint, right, when creating this film. Is there an aspect that should have been there, like in terms of technique, yeah, like visual effect maybe, that you think, oh, it should have been there in the film, but you weren't able to do that because of the time constraint, for example? Keisha, go.
Actually, we were planning like so many whip pans, but then like during the filming, we were like thinking about how the location was like quite big, so we couldn't really do that because we used like a wide fixed lens, so we couldn't do any zoom ins. Therefore, it was quite difficult on that part. We just ended up utilizing the editing. So actually, there was one like really visible whip pan, but we actually wanted to use more, but we didn't end up being able to do that.
And
Okay.
another one, if
All
I
right.
could add, is I think Keisha will come up with the idea of not showing the victim, but showing the resident's reaction through the eyes of the victim. So it's kind of like looking straight into the camera when it's supposed to show the victim, right? But that wasn't something that we had time to explore because, yeah, it was very limited.
Okay. Wait. Can you hear me clearly? I think my audio is a bit laggy. Hello. Okay? Am I clear? It's lagging again.
I think it's okay. At least it is in mine.
Oh, okay.
Dikit.
All right.
Dikit.
Sedikit ya.
Iya.
Lagging sedikit. Wait, I think. Okay. So, what's next after this project? What kind of film are you planning to make? More collaboration between you two.
We have a stock of premises, right? Oh yeah, like during building the story. Yeah, so we might want to make one of that. Because I think we have like 5 more ideas. Tapi yeah, we consider production time and all. So if it might be possible, we could produce another film with a different genre. That's like lebih serius mungkin.
All right. Right. That's good news for you folks who have watched Berdosa. So more will come. Looking forward to it. And I think that wraps it all. Thank you, Keshabel and Alia. So I guess we can all the directors because there's this uh, bonus question for everyone. All right. All right. Okay, wait. Okay, hi all. I hope everybody can hear me. Could you please turn your cameras on? Aisyah, Raja, Akira. Awesome. All right. The same question actually that I threw to the VA students. So far, what was the greatest lesson that you got after studying film studies for 2 years? 1 year in case of Keishabel and Alia. What's the greatest lesson there? And what's your advice for students who are considering taking the subject, yeah, film studies? Aisha, why don't you go first?
What I took away from film studies was that it's like one of the greatest experiences of my life, like genuinely. It's one of my favorite subjects. I really loved the process of film, but I do think that it could be a little oversaturated for people who don't necessarily care about some aspects of film and only care about, for example, screenplay or other aspects of film, like specialized aspects. So, yeah, for people who love film and want to learn about film, want to analyze film, I think this could be a fantastic um, experience for everyone. And my advice for people who want to enroll in film studies is to submit your assignments on time and talk to your teachers. Please talk to your teachers. I beg everyone to talk to their teachers about their assignments. And also put every single file in your folder. Have like one folder for it. Biar teachers are not like hard to find it. And also make sure the films that you choose for your comparative study aren't hard. Like think about it. It takes a long time to think about it, but like make sure the comparative study films are the films that you truly feel passionate in and films that you truly resonate with. So yeah.
That was a good advice. Please, students, do not make the process of submitting your assignment feel like Easter, yeah? Like teachers are finding eggs. Okay. Akira, why don't you go next?
Sure. I think the one thing that everyone who's about to take film studies have to pay attention to is preparation and time management. Because I made my movie like at the very end. It's like I don't know what 5 days before the actual submission. So editing wise and all that, it takes very much of your time, and I have to sacrifice very plenty of my assignments, such as including my EE, my TOK, and if you're a DP full student, yeah, you should very pay attention towards this. And not only that, because film offers you like other assignments, such as the comparative studies, as what Aisha said, and the textual analysis. It takes very much of your time. Then I believe that you guys should do it if you can, like the year 11 students, which is to do it, yeah, when you're still in grade 11, because it will save most of your times, and yeah, you can be more focused than other assignments as well. You don't have to sacrifice other subjects, and yeah, you don't have to like worry about stuff when your movie is done, because it's one major component in the film class itself. That's it for me.
All right. So, guys, time management is the key, right? Okay. Raja,
Yes, but I think it already
what's your
covered
take on this?
Akira and Aisha. Just the number one key is time management, of course. My advice is to finish the portfolio first before everything else, so then your post pro, which is editing and everything, will it's time taken, so you wanted to finish that first. Then the other assignment, as Akira said, comparative study and textual analysis. And if you are in DP full, or if you're in DP student just like me, then you also have TOK and EE. Then you have to be more prepared and just manage your time wisely. For my advice, I think for who's gonna take who's gonna take film, or want to study film, just for now, like you can read more screenplays. You can find your role, whether you like filming, whether you like editing, whether you just find your role, and then watch a lot of movies, I would say, and series that will inspire you later on, because you will use that later in the assignment you have. And then just be unique, create your own visual style, have a passion, um, just just don't give up. That's it, Pat. Thank you.
All right. Now, from the perspective of students who are still in the first year of DB, Keisha, Bell, and Alia, go ahead.
Wow, there was a lot of advice from the year 12s. I appreciate it, but I guess what I have to say is that enjoy it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of assignments and stuff, but at the end, it's just film is entertainment. You watch it to get joy out of it. And like, sure, it's done to overanalyze, I guess, the point where, oh, is the subtext? Is there something more to be told to the story? That's maybe not as straightforward as my film, Berdosa. Tapi you're allowed to like what you like. So yeah, if you want to join film, you should not only like to watch films, but also kind of analyze it and study language and storytelling. And yeah, at the end, just have fun, because it's a really fun subject to study.
Okay, last but not least, Keisha, Bell, go ahead.
To conclude, I agree with what everyone has said. Time management and enjoying your time in the class is two very important factors in being able to steadily pace yourself with all the work and balancing it with the other classes as well. Yes, I agree with what everyone has said.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for having for allowing us to see your work, which is something hard, I suppose. Robert Fripp, the guitarist from King Crimson, said that letting people see your work like giving birth to a baby and then giving it to a bunch of child abusers. Because that when you show your work, people will have this interpretation. People will criticize. So what you have done here is rich, and your discussion I we will get lessons from this discussion to enjoy what we do, which is filmmaking, and meeting the challenges of being Alia, Keisha, Bell, Aisha, Akira, and Raja. Now I um, hand this forward to Maizan and Regala. Thank you, guys.
Yes. Oh wait, no, Parik is gone. Okay.
All right. Oh no, Parif has left the stream. Oh well.
Yes. Oh no.
Oh man, we were gonna ask another question for Parif, but that's fine. I guess we should move on to the next thing. So first things first. What a very eventful director's talk. It really opened my eyes to the different perspectives you can see film in general. It's amazing. I really am.
I know, right?
And
It's not only director's talk. What are you talking about? It's also about the artist too.
true. It's just opened my eyes to like all the different perspectives of how you could see the painting and see the artwork in general and the movies. Oh my god. So much to debunk. So, wow.
That's
Also,
very true. Okay. For the artists and directors, congratulations too. You guys did it. Yay.
and thank you so much also to Pa Arip and everyone also like for moderating both the artist talk and the director's talk. This event couldn't have been possible without Pa Arip's lively and very, very lively personality to fill in the gaps. Definitely 100%. And also, the link for all the movies that you just watched will be in the description box below. It is in the form of a bit.ly link. It should take you right to a playlist of all 5 films.
Yes.
Oh no. Is this the end? Not quite. We have a bit of a surprise, actually.
Yes. So, to celebrate the work and the process that has been conducted, Cikal students, my friends, have provided a short video of joyous experiences of their process. Yay! So, I guess we're
Roll
going
clip.
to roll the clip.
Roll clip. Wow, that was a very heartfelt. That was a nice video to sum up the whole exhibition, the whole process. It's so inspiring that everything. It's so inspiring to watch. I could feel all the hard work through the screen. Definitely.
I know. It is truly amazing how all artists and directors can pull this off, especially in a time like these. Like how?
I know. Exactly. Absolutely. Oh my god. We have come to the end of the event.
What? Really? Are you serious?
Yep, nothing else. Nothing
I
else.
can't believe it.
Exactly. Me neither. Everything went by so fast. I'm still trying to digest the information from the first artist talk.
I'm still trying to process Pak Arju.
That was so out of context and uncalled for. Love Pak Arju. Yes, we love the tour. Okay. Oh man, I guess we can end the session with several reminders and a promo.
Yes, what better way?
All right. Okay. Don't forget to check the arts exhibition on your preferred device. You can basically open it anywhere with a phone, your laptop, any given device, as long as you have an internet connection. You can always open it. It's on the app Exhibit. Again, EXHIBBIT. It's all for free. It's free. Everything. Bold, caps, italic,
yes.
everything. Exactly. It's free. You can open it anytime, anywhere, and it's free with the app especially. But this exhibition will be running until July 5, so maximize opening the arts exhibition until July 5. You can open it until July 5. So yeah.
By the way, all of the DP Film students' short films are published on YouTube. The bit.ly link for the short film playlist is available in the description box below. And our card link is on the Instagram. Oh wait, and on our card link, yes. I'm sorry.
Yes. And like we say every time from the start and the end of each session, please or don't forget to check out our Instagram at Cikal DP Arts X, which is also available in the link below. You can see everything basically, starting from the card link, the preview for the film, everything. You won't want to miss it. Don't forget to follow.
Yes. And finally, if you have any feedback regarding the entire exhibition, there is a Google form in the description box below, which leads to an evaluation form. Please fill it in whether you want to give a positive or negative feedback, so we can better your experience the next time you attend the Cikal DP Arts exhibition.
Yeah. And honestly, that's all that we have to say. That's all the announcements that we have and the promos that we have. And on behalf of the committee, artists, directors, teachers, everyone, basically, thank you so much for attending and following everyone's journey through the Cikal DP Arts exhibition in 2021. We can't thank you enough for the endless amount of support you've given us these past 2 days through the screen. And yeah, you as the audience are what make this event. So yes.
Regala and I will also like to say sorry for any mistakes that made the DP Arts exhibition unpleasant, whether it is something we said or technical difficulties, etc. But once again, thank you so much, and we will see you next year. Hopefully not online. Stay tuned.
Bye!
Bye.